When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease and never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me, I sit here mind clear, traveling adrift.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Just let us go.
When I think about how our chemistry combines to create another state, it amazes me crazily. Flying through gamma rays, it pleases me. The nebula, a certainly beautiful style, teasing me easily. I could ultimately spend eternity exploring celestial bodies in the farthest galaxy. The fallacy exists to contradict all of reality. I'm glad to be the only old man in this colony. Follow me. I'm about to take you on a trip, make it feel so real without even a sip, without even a click. You could figure out the pace without even a pick. You could figure out the place without even a trace. We gon' slide through the rift. Our visuals are tripping way past tilt shift. Extraordinarily, we see planetary drift. Experience the gift as we travel adrift.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Just let us go. Just let us go.
Let us go.
Just let us
go. Yeah, it's the pre-show, y'all. It's the pre-show, y'all. It's the pre-show, y'all. I'm not smoking, just choking on my spit.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Just let us go.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us flow. All that but time I know it's time on the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. I gotta do some scratching. When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Maybe. Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology to cease and never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me, I sit here mind clear, traveling adrift.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Just let us go.
When I think about how our chemistry combines to create another state, it amazes me crazily. Flying through gamma rays, it pleases me. The nebula are certainly beautiful. Stop teasing me easily. I could ultimately spend eternity exploring celestial bodies in the farthest galaxy. The fallacy exists to contradict all of reality. I'm glad to be the only old man in this colony. Follow me. I'm about to take you on a trip, make you feel so real without even a sip, without even a click. You can figure out the pace without even a pick. You can figure out the place without even a trace. We gon' slide through the rift. Our visuals are tripping way past tilt shift. Extraordinarily we see planetary drift. Experience the gift as we travel adrift.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear, from here. Just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Just let us go. Just let us go.
Yeah.
Just let us
Let us go. Skip it, scabba it, abba it, skip it, the babba, the gabba, go. Go. When I gaze into extremities, man, make a sign poem, crying on a zimity. I'm on the dough when I'm traveling through Bimini. I just wanna be that dude, never gonna enter me, center me, rented me. How much of my son like Airbnb, syrupy. I was gonna drink beer and see, cause it's St. Patty's Day, but not to the day I leave.
Just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear, from here. Just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Just let us go.
Just let us go. I wanna fly with you, day from here. Kinda sick of this song. I'll just let the music play. Let the music play. We don't dare to. Yo, I'ma just do a freestyle, hit it really quick, cause I got the skill to flicky flock and flick it out real out of my brain cells. You can tell that it smells really delicious. The aroma is excruciatingly beautiful. I don't know who the one, who the pool, think want the pool. I'm a stupid dude, I'm sitting on the stoop, cool fool. You can tell what I'm gonna do, but you're not gonna be the most I'ma wanna do. Everybody wanna just, I mean, not right now. Everybody wanna just sound out myself, so I'ma just do a things I'm big of a go. This is how the song sounds today, so I'm gonna have to write something like this for everybody to dance or bob or do whatever that they do to drive down the street. Ooh, boom boom out the bump of the trunk, so it's gonna be really cool when I do that. I guess I gotta do it like that. Maybe I'll put a little better than that. A little auto tune, maybe make it sound cool, cause I wanna be cool like all of the kitty cools. Not really, I'm just really playing. This is all for fun, you know what I'm saying. Freestyle is how we do. It's kinda like practice, but you know, we're talking about practice. Act this way when you wanna be famous, rich. I'd rather be rich than famous, when famous, or even most deaf. He's good, but I've gotta, I have to evolutionize away from that. Maybe, I don't know, man. See how I do with that? I do a flat bibby dabby dibby, someone can remember crap. Now I'm not even saying words. Alright, back to the this is how they do it today. Mumble mumble rap mumble crap mumble mumble rap mumble crap minds will be more clear, crystal. I got that diction on point, on fleek. Anyway, bases. Yeah. Yo, this is allgames.com. You are listening to the R9cast with your host, SG, Stephen D. Gibson, aka Electron Bandit, aka that's me. But the show hasn't officially started yet. Maybe I'll do a bumper. Live bumpers every week. What? What other show does that? What? They're just lazy. They click a button and they play the thing. You know what? I'm a little loud about that. What? What up, y'all? It's R9cast, the official blog of this show. Come Crystal Super Dope Show for Reservoir9.com, representing allgames.com. I am Stephen D. Gibson, aka SG, aka Electron Bandit, aka I fell asleep in my studio today. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was like, cause I got a little down, laid down back there, put my feet up, and I was like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. Cause me and Bridget were yelling at each other, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna stay in this house. I'm gonna sit in here for a little bit. I got AC, so I can't get hot, but I turned it off, so I was hot, so I had to turn it back on. I slept for about an hour. It was pretty good. I was like, oh snap, this is good right here. I felt very, how do you say, relaxed? It was great. It was great. Let me try to make this bigger. This song, this video, this CG is, the song is for the, you know what I'm saying. The music is for the song, for the CG. The CG that you see up there at the top is for the song that's playing right now. So I'm just working on this slowly but surely, trying to get my cloth physics right. That's pretty good. Might change the color, but who knows. You know, and there's a little blankie on top. There they go. And I did a little different camera movement. I gotta tweak the camera at the end when I finish with all the materials and objects, then and placements, the rooms and such, all the staging. Then I still have to put something on that little table right there. But maybe I'll do some glass. Everything that I add that reflects light slows down the actual render. So you know, that's how that goes. But anyway, if you guys want to come in and be part of the show, then go to allgames.com/live and press the button, and magic, you go to Discord, boom, you're in the chat, and you get to, then I'll read stuff from chat. I'm gonna read stuff from chat regardless. I'll read stuff from the Mixer chat, read stuff from the Twitch chat, read stuff from the Discord, all games Discord. You know, I'm multi-chatting, multi-streaming. I didn't hit butt yet though, because I'm dumb. There's the butt. What's up, y'all? R9cast in the house. Bam! You missed the intro, because the intro is only for video viewers. I'm just kidding. I just forgot to press the button. Boom! It's exclusive. If you want to be a video viewer, get my followers up, then you get the intro. It's pretty good, though. You can watch it later, though. Just go to Twitch. I think Twitch has the... I know Mixer has the replays. Upon the replay. So if you go after... Ooh, the light makes different... Okay. Because I changed the lights on the outside. I added like 2 lights. Did I add 2 lights? I had the 1 light. I added 2 lights. Added 2 lights in the nebula, and it added some more lights in my hallway here. So I'm like, oh. Even though I don't like the bleed in, I like the bleed in. It's kind of a weird thing. It kind of gives ambiance. It gives ambiance, but I think I'm gonna have to do a volumetric what the heck is it called? Volumetric fog, basically, within the whole space station to give it that super cinematic, like, oof. Although I know that, you know, fog or smoke in a space station is like, you know, danger time. But it's still, right now it's a little crispy. It's a little too crispy clean, you know what I mean? So I'm like, and it's moving really super slow right now because it's rendering the whole thing in real time. And that slows down because I have a super slow.
I think I could change the some of the settings to make it render faster, but it'll look like hot garbage, or more like hot garbage. Okay, so today on the show, finna talk about Captain Marvel spoilers. Finna talk about Mortal Engine spoilers, cause we checked that in 4K. Like, well, blam! I was like, oh, it was pretty dope. It was pretty hot, girl. Bridge is gonna hate me forever, but she don't like it when I'm me. Bridge gonna hate me forever. You don't like it. I gotta change that picture. I should just paste a new picture of my face on my body, because Charlie's in there, and that's my boy. Rip Charlie. Best cat ever created. He was the best cat. Okay, if your cat, you like him, him, her. What? My cat was the best cat. He was the best cat. Lung cancer cat. Oh, I gotta fix that. See, the light was all messed up. Purple line. I had to fix it. He had lung cancer. You know what's bad about Charlie, right? So Charlie, I went to work one day. Bridget takes him to the vet, puts him down without telling me. Can't even say goodbye to my boy, and she comes in. Like it's a movie, like all dramatic. I'm like, what are you holding my hands like this for? This is weird. And no, Charlie had you. I'm like, no, it's Charlie. And she put him down. I was like, you ain't tell me. You got to tell me. That's like when your children's sick, and you don't tell the other spouse. I'm like, what did that? I was like, you know what? Your brain is messed up. You know, you don't do stuff like that. You don't do stuff like that. It's like, you know, come on, son. Try to spare me the anguish. Come on, son. Part of all this life and death is like, yo, okay, Charlie's sick. He's gonna have to go to the big sleep. Can I say a last goodbye? No. Oh, thanks for robbing me of precious life moments. Appreciate it. How will I ever repay you? You know. All those things in my brain. But whatever. That's not what we were fighting about. We were not fighting about the death of my favorite cat in the world. He was so good. He was like a dog. Oh man. Makes me happy when I think about him. That's the cool thing about it, is that I guess that's part of, you know, I don't know, her thinking, like, oh, I'll have only the happy thoughts. But then the negative part of it is that it's kind of surrounded by her actions and trying to protect my feelings, whatever that is. Yeah, now I'm like, well, it kind of sucks that I couldn't say peace out, little homie. But whatever. It still makes me smile. He was a freaking friendly ass cat. He was just like, meow. He's like, you better pet me, or I'm snuggle up all on top of you, because that's what I do. My name is Charlie the Snuggle Pet. Meow. I was like, all right, Charlie. You said you get tired of petting him. He's just like, nope, you ain't done yet. Just keep petting. And then if you don't pet him, he doesn't like attack you or anything like that, because he wasn't that type of cat. He was just like, all right, cool. You know, he's just like, he's so cool. Cool cats. Now we have a couple of cats still. One of them, she's 20 years old, and now she's starting to act right. She's like, meow. She's got an old cat meow, like, meow. Like before, she was all like, meow, all timid. Now she's like, yo, I'm 20. Meow. She's straight up, if the equivalent of a cat barking, that's what she does. Meow, meow, meow. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, I see you. Meow. She like, and then she's weird, but you know, animals are weird. So I pour the water from, I'm standing up and I'm pouring the water down onto the bowl, which is on the floor, and she likes the waterfall action, so she'll put her face all up in it and drink the stream. I'm like, okay. So I have to pour slow. It's just so she can have fun with her water drips. And she has like a big Bridget thought it was a tumor. It's not a tumor, it's a cyst. She has a giant cyst on her head, so we took it to the doctor, and the doctor was like, we're going to test it. We're going to see if it's a cancer. So he went to test it to get a biopsy, and he popped the juice out of it, and he was like, oh, well, I went to get the biopsy, and no, the juice came out. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, sounds like a cyst to me. And it grew back. So I was like, yeah, it's just fluid. She's got fluid on her big head. Not in the brain, it's on the top. It's on the skin. So she's fine, though. She's cool. Black is alright. He's the cat that has claws. Our other two cats don't have claws. He has claws. And he's been pretty much a bastard to his brother, who is Ozzy, and he's got diabetes. All the cats is just like, cats is like, nope. It's crazy. Anyway, this is not the cat cast. This is the R9cast, where we're gonna talk about the movies, the Captain Marvel and the other one, Mortal Engines. No, a lot of people probably didn't see Mortal Engines. It wasn't a Peter Jackson and Weta and Wingnut or whatever. They produced it. Basically, they made it. Their production company made the movie. The Lord of the Rings people. They made the movie, but he didn't direct it. It was somebody else who directed it, and the music was by I did not know who the guy was. Music was dope though. I was like, oh snap! They got some new players in the game real quick. But yeah, he didn't direct it, which is fine because it kind of looked like he directed it. If that's I guess they use the same production company, so they have the same cinematographer. I gotta look that up. I don't even know if there was the same cinematographer, but it looked. I mean, there was some parts where I was like, okay, that's. I mean, we all know like most of it is CG. 100,000% of it, most of it is CG, right? But some parts are like, oh yeah, that's real CG because they're like running through the city and the city's getting devoured by the other cities, so they're running through and everything's collapsing. I'm like, yeah, that's CG. But it was like, sure. I was like, yo, that's yeah. I mean, one or two shots took me out, but for the most part, I'm like, that's a pretty looking movie right there, real good, So first, I'm going to spoil Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. I'm going to talk about how it's a good movie. I want to talk about how it seems that the Marvel movies are finding a way to stay good and varied throughout the different single hero movies. Does that make sense? So I'm like, oh, okay. So Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, she's a lady. She's Captain Marvel. In the beginning of the movie, they show a scene with her. I think it's that explosion scene they show in the trailer where she's like on a beach or sandy place and she has the green snot blood and stuff, which was a misdirect. That was a big misdirect in the trailer. So okay, and what's her name? Annette Bening is there. She's in it. She's actually Marvel. Spoilers. I said spoilers. She's there, and I was like, oh, okay. So that's how the movie starts. I think. Wait. Yeah, and then I think she wakes up and she's on wherever the Kree. The Kree. I think she's part of the Kree peoples. That's where she starts. I was like, oh snap, it's like Thor Ragnarok. Oh, there's a super space city. It's all futuristic. I was like, oh man, look at that. And one thing is like most of that is all CG, right? And I'm looking at it, I was like, okay, that's CG. They have super powerful computer farms to render all this stuff. How do I get my little i5 chippy chap creepy crap hot garbage computer to render stuff to look like that? That's my question, right? And so I mean, you can see the loop up here on the screen. And I'm like, I'm getting there. I'm learning all the stuff, by the way. So it's not like, it's not, okay, wait, I gotta fix something real quick. I have to fix something really quick that's really bugging me. This line right here. Where is it? That line. I have to fix that line real quick. Since there's nobody on the show. Nobody's listening anyway. I'm gonna fix this line real quick. There may be somebody in all games. Who knows? I don't know. I never know. Because I just don't. All right. So I gotta fix that light. That light is bugging me. Let's fix the light. This light is. There it is. Open. Come on. Jesus. What is this? The dope sheet? Yes, dope sheet. Dope sheet. All right. So I need. The size angle needs to be bigger. I guess it needs to be bigger. Yeah, I think that's all I needed to do, right? I can rotate it. A little bit this way. I think that's it. Let me see. Oh, a little bit of the corner right there. And that should do it. Yeah, let's make sure that the other side doesn't pop through. Yeah. Good. Okay, I fixed it. Cause I want it yellow, I want it purple, I want it red. It's not the best. I think it's too much purple. Maybe if I turn down the energy a little bit. Let's see. We'll get more red in there. Is it working? I think it's working. Ah, it went back to 100. How dare you? Alright, let's do 50. That's pretty good. Let's do 20. Nope, it's not enough. Well, actually, I kind of like that. Let's do 30. Split the difference. Okay, there you go. All right. So anyway, back to Captain Marvel. Back to after these messages. We'll be right back. All right. Let's see what we got now. Turn this overlays off so we don't see the lines. Boo, space, the final place to go. I wish that the edges were more specularized. I guess that's the word. I think I need to change my focal point or something on that. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I have to do some messing around with the Anyway, so Captain Marvel is the 17th movie, right? I don't know. Take that off for a second. Let my eyes breathe. It's the 17th movie, something like that. I don't know, but I think that these movies are getting better and better. Well, not better and better. I think they're maintaining quality as far as storytelling, characters, and adding to the universe. And like, oh, okay, they figured out some kind of formula first and foremost. And whenever they introduce a new hero, if you will, boom, it's like, oh snap. Even villains, let's just say character, like Thanos came in. I was like, okay, Thanos is actually a better bad guy than Loki was in the the first Thor in the first Avengers. He was I guess he was the bad guy. He was kind of comical, but yeah, he's a bad guy. And there were some weak enemies. There were some weak villains as far as in Thor, the second Thor. I don't even remember who it was. A dark elf or something. I don't remember. But I think Thor has except for Thor Ragnarok, those Thor movies were had weak enemies, which is kind of funny because Thor is like one of the strongest Avengers. He's a god, so you would assume he would have better bad guys. That's not true. Thor Ragnarok, no. What's her name was good? Lady Death. Kate Blanchett. She was good. Yeah, she was good. She wasn't bad. She was good. The fact that she was the daughter and they were sister and stuff. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of dope. I don't know if she played that right though, because she wasn't as charismatic as I think charisma goes a long way in all characters, good or bad. So Thanos has charisma, or not so much charisma, but you can empathize with his decisions. You can understand, like, I'm trying to serve my people because it happened to my people, and I want. It's not. I'm not doing it to be evil. It's not. predetermined. It's random, so it's not like, you know, it's the luck of the draw. And you're like, okay, it's random, luck of the draw. Still evil, but it's fair. It's evil fair. Fairness, evil fairness. Payson in Discord chat says Xbox done X. That's what he says. Is there video game stuff for me to talk about? Devil May Cry 5 came out. Not playing it. Don't want to play it. I've been playing, as you can see, at the top of the show. Or the pre-show, I should say. I was playing at I was about to say Death of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is the graphics on Death of the Tomb Raider. I said it. the graphics, the graphic density, let's be specific, of the environments of Shadow of the Tomb Raider are ridiculous. They're so thick and dense because you're in the jungle most of the time, like a mine jungle. Even in like the I was in that cave with all the fire. I was like, well, okay, it's just like it's so detailed and dense. I'm like, man, they spent some time on these environments. It looks really good. The controls are pretty much the same as the other games, but I think one of the problems with Shadow of the Tomb Raider is that the animation blending is kind of off, and some of the animation, I don't know how to describe it. It's like when she's running and she's kind of leaning side to side. I'm like, how does that work? It doesn't look right. It's the same run cycle animation as the other games, but it's just a little bit weirder. So that's one place where it kind of falls a little short. I'm not gonna say fails, but it falls a little short. It's a little bit less than the previous games. But I'm playing it 4K, 30 frames per second, because you have the option to do 60 frames at like 1080p or whatever, or dynamic resolution. I'm not too sure, or 4K 30. I put 4K 30. That game looks so good. If you have an X, play Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That game is beautiful. I was like, I had to stand up and get close to my screen, right? I was like about 2 feet. I was like, I don't see no jaggies. I don't see no pick. This is the beautiful games. Beautiful. I was like, dang, son. And then I sat back down on my couch, which is about 8 feet away. And then at that range, you're like, you're not gonna see jaggies really anyway, so you don't get the benefit of the 4K, like boom. But knowing that it's that beautiful is crazy. And when I get a bigger ass TV, when I get that 65 inch up there, boom, I'm not gonna get that shock and horror when you get a bigger TV. And like, say if you're rocking 1080p, you're like, oh man, I got a 24-inch TV 1080p. Then you get a 50-inch, and he's like, boom, look at my big screen. And then everything's kind of like, hey, it's not as crispy as it used to be. What's going on here? You won't get that shock because it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider looks so good. I mean, I guess that's the trade-off, right? It looks pretty, but it doesn't play as good as, like, say, Apex Legends, which isn't 1080, which isn't a 4K. It's what is Apex Legends running at? I know it's 60 frames, so I think it's dynamic resolution. I'm not too sure actually. I think it's more than 1080p, but I'm not too sure. And I heard the word on the street was that Rage 2 is gonna run at 1080p, 60 frames on the X and the Pro. So they'll still do the digital domain. Hello, I'm Richard Bedletter, and this is digital domain, and we're gonna show you about the graphics of the frame rate in the. He has a little bit of a lisp. Frame rate of he has the he has the W. He's got the Elmer Fudd. Of course, of this Rage 2. That's not how he sounds, but you know, I can't do British accent. I can barely do a British accent. Then impersonating a British person, it's hard. I don't know how these actors did. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider is pretty good. Play it if you want to see pretty graphics. Play that joint. There's some stupid parts in it though, because like when the plane crashed, I'm like, okay, they're both dead. Now they can't survive that. They survive, of course. She ends up in a tree. The cockpit comes off of the plane. She's in the cockpit, and Jonah, he's in the rest of the plane. His little little rinky dinky plane. So I'm like, okay, he's dead. Okay, she's okay. He probably would not be as dead as she, because he's got the part with the wings. She's just in the cockpit. She's just in a box with a chair, and she put the seatbelt on, like bracing for impact. They didn't show the impact, of course. They just show her. Boom, she's in the tree. I'm like, okay, that's some bullshit right there. That's unbelievable. So, but anyway, we ain't here to talk about Rise of the Tomb Raider. We're here to talk about Captain Marvel spoilers, and we're here to talk about Mortal Engine spoilers, because nobody saw Mortal Engine. Hopefully, Pace saw Captain Marvel. Honestly, I don't really feel like spoiling it. Actually, it's a good. I'll just talk about the good stuff, and if it spoils, it spoils. So it's a good movie. It's a good movie in the Marvel Universe. It's a good movie in the Marvel Universe that adds another great character that I want to see more of. I want to see this new character interact with the other characters in the Marvel Universe. So that's like all the good things. Those are all the things that you want to happen in your universe building movie, basically. You want a good character that you want to see again with the other characters that you see that you want to see more. And the fact that the characters are evolving, like Thor evolved from what he was, which is good. I mean, Loki evolved, but he did. I guess Hawkeye / Ronin will evolve. Ronin didn't evolve, actually. Ronin's the Captain Marvel. The Kree Ronin. The Kree Ronin the Executor, that's his name in Guardians. He's the same, except he has black stuff in Guardians, and in Captain Marvel he doesn't have the black stuff. He's still blue. He's still Ronin, but he's pretty much the same character. He's just a really bad person who wants to kill stuff. He's the executioner. Wipe you out, son. He seems more mean in Captain Marvel, but he's not an idiot, so yeah. But he's in it, and then who else is in Captain Marvel? I'm trying to think. Stan Lee's in it, of course. He's on the train. That was kind of cool. The train scene where she's beating up the old lady. He's on the train. It was kind of cool. He didn't have a line though, but he was just smiling. He was reading a mall rat script. I was like, okay, all right. And y'all probably saw the video of Kevin Smith. I actually haven't seen the video, but he was freaking out because they had that in there with Stan Lee reading that mall rat script. I was like, oh, okay, that's all right. I mean, most shows would sit here, podcasts would sit here and go through step by step what the movie Captain Marvel is. First this happened, then this happened, and then that happened. I'm not gonna do that. Why? Because my brain doesn't work that way, and also I'd get stuff wrong, and also there's a lot of time jumps in Captain Marvel. Not time jumps, I'm sorry. There's a lot of flashbacks in Captain Marvel, so keeping all that stuff in check as far as chronologically how they appeared in the movie, impossible, I would say. I remember the individual scenes, but when they happened, how they happened. A lot of it happened when the Krill dudes captured Captain Marvel, and they were searching her memory, basically. And they kind of went through there, and they were kind of like, oh, try to remember. They were like talking to her, and she would do it. It was kind of cool. I was like, oh, okay, that's all right. And in the end, the Krill, I just said them, the Krill, whatever their name was. They weren't actually super bad guys. They were like refugees, and the Kree ended up being the bad guys. And I always knew Jude Law was gonna be the bad guy. Like when I saw him in the trailers and stuff, I was like, yeah, he's a bad guy. He's got to be. He can't be good. He can't be a good guy. No, because Captain Marvel's a good guy. He can't be a good guy too. And he had like he got buffed up a little bit for us. Like, yeah, he got muscles. Yeah, he's a bad guy. And yeah, he was a bad guy. The Kree were the bad guys, basically. And they were wiping out the Krills. Because they wouldn't would conform to Kree law. Or I forgot what it was. Dumb. It was just like genocide. They were persecuted. Blah blah blah. Don't care. It was a good fake out, and they definitely faked you out. Like, so now looking at Marvel trailers, all these people who like it's the trailer breakdown. Look at this. Oh, she's got green blood in her nostril, meaning she's not human. Psych. They changed the color for the commercial. So, and smart on Marvel because they know that these people will break down the trailers, so they give them false images. They give them false information so that their assumptions and theories are wrong. Smart on Marvel. I ain't gonna hate on Marvel because they're adjusting and adapting to the world today as far as internet, all these YouTubers and such, right? So old people, old timers would be like, oh man, I can't. DC would be like, oh man, I can't I can't believe they did that with the Avengers Infinity War when they had Hulk and Wakanda. Hulk wasn't on Wakanda. I mean, Banner was and the Hulk's Buster, but he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Switcheroo. And people were mad like, oh man, I can't believe it's happened. Cause you said saw Captain Marvel. I enjoyed it. The part when she takes down the missile and blew up that ship gave me goosebumps. Takes down the missile and blew up that. Was she on the? Was she? Oh yeah. When she was when she had first became Captain Marvel, when she unlocked her powers and she had the mohawk and she was like, she did like the Superman said and flipped it around or some shit. I can't remember. That's like one of the parts I can't remember that super detailed is when she was like, and then she went up in space and she was fighting a space battle. Okay, this is how bad Captain Marvel is. Bad as in badass. She was fighting a space battle against enemy ships, Ronin's fleet. The Captain Marvel lady with her little suit and I was like, wait, she's so powerful that she don't need to have a suit in space. She don't need to have oxygen because Captain Marvel. I was like, okay, you know what? All right, she's a good addition. let her take on Thanos real quick. But yeah, that was a pretty good. That was like on the action scenes. I tend to kind of like, you know, unless it's very specific or one-on-one or something like that, like certain choreography. But when it's like super space battles, it was cool. But I was like, yeah, you can't. It's very difficult to remember each little kind of scene and stuff because it's a lot of information in your face. But yeah, that was dope. I felt Captain Marvel on one thing in the trailer. They showed her standing up as a kid, and I feel that would have been cooler if we didn't know she stood up each time. She did have help from her peeps on her. That's true. Yeah, that was a cool moment in the movie when she became Captain Marvel. I kind of got like, uh-oh. What's this feeling inside me? It's like emotions. I was like, oh, snap. She's like, because like the whole movie, she's got power, but she can't control it, you know. So says her Kree buddies. In the end, they were trying to control her power. She had a little beep boop on her neck, and that was kind of a dampener. It was a governor, if you will, of her power. So she couldn't like, you know, blast fools. And she's like, keep your emotions in check. So they were just trying to train her not to kill them, basically, because when she found out what they were doing or what they had did, yeah, it was on. And she eventually did, and she eventually whooped everybody's ass. She didn't kill them all. I don't think she killed them. She didn't kill. She didn't kill. Jude. Who's Jude? What's Jude Law's character's name? I don't even remember. She didn't kill him. She didn't kill. Who didn't she? Did she kill any of the other crew? When she was fighting with her up on the space station, Doctor, on Marvel's space station laboratory place. I don't remember if she killed any of them. She probably. I don't remember. I guess Jude Law was the only one to survive. The Nirvana song should have played when she broke the neck thing. When she broke the neck thing. See? Oh yeah, ching, yeah. And I was like the thing on her neck, I was like, what's that? I didn't really know what it was either. And then like as the movie was going on and stuff, and she was like, and then it's like at a certain point before they actually revealed it, I was like, I got it now. I understand. That's the thing that's dampening her powers. That I got it. Okay, I got it. But it didn't ruin the movie or anything. It was just like, okay, I'm waiting for the good stuff. Let's see the fights and stuff. And the fights were kind of good. I was like, all right, you know, they're not goofy. She was kicking fools' booty holes. I was like, yeah, all right. I'm digging this. The cat, the Whirlpool, whatever the heck that thing is called. Excuse me. I was like, that's kind of funny. It adds a new dimension to the Marvel Universe, definitely. So whenever you see a cat, it's like, oh, man, watch out. What the heck is this? Tiger Claw. Oh, what is this? Wonder Park syncs with negative reviews and something. That's Paramount. Wonder Park seems like a good movie. We're talking about Captain Marvel right now, though. Tiger Claw. Anyway, yeah, the movie wasn't ruined. I'm just saying they should have left that secret as an added icing on it. Yeah, I think there were. He was young Rog. Something. Yeah, I don't remember. I can look it up, but I'm too lazy. But the I agree with the standing up part. The standing up part in when that montage happened and it, like they showed her stand up, each version of her or each time she stood up as like a kid growing up and as an adult, I was like, okay, you know what? And the thing is, the music. I'm always like, I'm gonna talk about Mortal Engines and the music too, but the music was like, it was good and appropriate because it cued the right emotion for the scene. I do not remember the music. The music was not done by Alan Silvestri or any of the. It was somebody totally new. I did not know who it was. I was like, who the heck did this music? Somebody. Tom something maybe, I don't know, or maybe that's the dude from Mortal Engines. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely agree with the stand-up part. The stand-up part was super powerful. It was one of the turning points of the film and of her character. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. They could have done that I think a little better, but I think they did it because they didn't want to. Like they didn't want people like, oh, why is the girl can't stand up? The SJWs and all the not Me Too, but the women super movements and stuff. They cry about everything, man. That's right, I said it. They cry about everything. Stop crying. You want to be equal to the mans who not supposed to cry? Be a man. Be a man. That's me talking to women who complaining about men. Don't complain about men. Just be a man. Not literally. If you want to be Chad, you could do that. I'm just saying. You can't complain about stuff and not be the stuff. You got to walk in the shoes. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But I'm trying to think about. I've heard. I was listening to Potbelly Gamers, and they were talking about how they felt that the movie wasn't 90s enough. And Kaju says, I hope they don't do time travel in Endgame. I don't. I mean, there might be time travel in a sense, but I don't think it'll be something like, oh, I have a time machine, let's go. Although it might be, because I saw the second trailer and they were all suited up, so they might be going through the Ant-Man. They might be shrinking down or something. I don't know. Maybe that might be it. But anyway, they were talking about how it wasn't 90s enough, and I was like, I guess you don't remember the 90s because the 90s was kind of nice. That's when all the music clicked. For me, it clicked. I was born in the 70s. I was born in 74. I lived through the 80s. I was like, yeah, okay, Duran Duran, The Reflex, all right, that's okay. Nintendo, all right. Castlevania, you got some good music. Blaster Master. Well, not Blaster Master. It was Blazing Lasers for the PC Engine, TurboGrafx. I was like, all right, that's good music. You know, Space Harrier, okay. And then I was like, I remember the 90s because that was when music awoken. In, you know, there's a point in everyone's lives where they're a kid and they're like, yeah, they listen to pop songs like, oh yeah, it's all on the radio, so I remember the words. And then there's a song that comes on, it's like, oh, what's that? Feelings are happening because of this music song thing that's happening. That's happened to me. That happened to me in the 90s, and that happened with Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They reminisce over you. I was like, that sample came on, even though it's not the best super dope rhyme ever. You know, he was telling the story, he's talking about his family and stuff. I was like, all right. And the funny thing is that the Creator came out before. It was Pete Rock and the Creator. That one came out first. And I saw that first. And they did the video and they were on like a freaking ship and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But They Reminisce Over You, that one was the one that said, okay, here we go. It's music time. And that's when I fell into the native tongue hole. But Kaiju says Marvel got 90s just right. I didn't appreciate the 90s until 95. The music was off the chain from start to finish. Exactly. That's what kind of, I mean, if there were to be a complaint from me about that, I would say I would want some more of that symbolic hip hop, that native tongue, you know, Tribe Called Quest, all of those cats, part of the whole native tongue collective in there. I don't think they had I think 2 like R&B 90s songs. I was like, okay, whatever. That's, yeah, I remember that song. But if there was like just one, I'd have been like, okay. Unless it was there and I wasn't paying attention or whatever. But it was, because the 90s, the thing about the 90s is really just about the cars and some of the technologies, like the stores, you know, Blockbuster, Radio Shack, whatever, and the music, which they put in. So everything else, you're making an action movie, so you're not gonna say, oh, we have to shoot the movie like how they shot it in the 90s. Don't be ridiculous. Of course they're not gonna do that. But there was kind of a little bit of that, like when they were on the train, when they did the whole train scene. I'm like, oh, okay, they just had a dude and they were in the car and they had a camera and they were doing little stunts around with I was like, that's kind of cool. All right. So it's like, I don't get where that complaint comes from. I think what it is that there was a lot of sci-fi space stuff, you know, when they were on the whatever the Kree planet was and stuff like that. It was like, if you feeling that, yo, this is not the 90s. Obviously, it's the cosmic part of it. But when you're on Earth, yes, it was the 90s thing. It was like, oh, you know, and then, you know, Fury got a page from whoever, I forgot who paged him, and Coulson's there. I was like, this is good. He was driving I think he was driving an Impala or a Caprice Classic. I forgot what car he was driving. No, he was driving the I think, was it the Marauder? But it was like the souped up one. I was like, oh snap, that's like the Derek H would love this car right here. That was Derek H's dream car he was driving. I was like, dang son. Because it says hip hop, R&B, pop was all dope from 80s to 90s. IMO. Yeah, it was some good European 80s pop. That's where I started. Like when MTV jumped off, that's what was like first. So I got all of that. And then, like I said, when the 90s jumped, Pete Rock and all them cats came out, Grand Poobah, freaking Mos Def was a little bit later in the 90s, but the early 90s was still hot too. I wasn't feeling the West Coast rap as much. Because, you know, I was in New York. So, and I wasn't about the whole East Coast, West Coast stuff, but I just like East Coast stuff better. As far as Pac versus Biggie, I always felt Biggie could have been better than what he was. He was dope, but I think, like, was it Hypnotic? Not Hypnotic. What was the album with the Biggie, can't you see? Not his first album, but the second album. I think it was the second album. His first album was crazy. But anyway, we're not. Because it says the West Coast rap. The West Coast rap for me got good when Dre and Snoop. It was never NWA. I didn't get that. Yeah. I'll give a pass to Dre and Snoop, and also Souls of Mischief. To me, and all the wow, the word I can't say. I can't even think about saying the word. Hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Those guys. the Egyptian writing walls. Hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphic. I'm not having a stroke. I swear I'm not having a stroke. How do you know if you're not having a stroke? It's just that one word. Hieroglyphics. It's not hieroglyphics. Anyway, that whole crew. Souls of Mischief, 93 to Infinity. Came out in 93, obviously. That was my jam. Dial up 7 digits. Call up Bridget. Him man's a midget. It's like my life. Bridget, I'm a midget. Come on, son. I'm not technically the M word. I know it's a bad, but it's part of the song, so I'm not saying it as a derogatory term. But that's a good song. And that's like when they got good at finding those samples and slapping them together, cutting them up and doing all that stuff. That's all of those tracks, all of that 90s stuff is all just super good sample repurposing. And as much as I'm opposed to that, I love it. It sounds so good. It feels like, it just feels, anyway, back to Captain Marvel. So, like I said, I don't really get that complaint. about that. I think they did. I think they did everything pretty perfect. Even like you remember, like you see the car chase, and it like if you take like the car chase and the train scene, just like the inside and the car part out, just kind of segment them. There isn't like, I mean, I'm sure there's CG, I'm sure there's special effects in there, but yeah, diggable planets were good too. But that could be a 90s car chase. You know what I'm saying? That could be a 90s action scene inside the train. I mean, of course, without her having the spacesuit on. But if you replace her with just, you know, regular clothes and they're fighting on a train, there wasn't anything in particular in that action scene that felt like it wasn't a 90s action scene, if you understand, you know, if I'm explaining it right. And what makes that movie super dope special is that they fit that flavor inside of a movie that is, yes, taking place in the 90s on Earth at that time, but was made in 2019. And we saw it in 2019. It was made, whatever, 2018. But it was, you know, came out in 2019. So it's a modern movie that represents the 90s and space and all these things. And then the characters are good. And the story's kind of good. And even though there's some, you know, tropes about as far as, the bad guy, amnesiac and all that, blah, 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 whatever. Still good. The whole cat thing, the cat, the Quirble, whatever it's called, swallowed the Tesseract, and then the after credit scene when they hawked it up, I was like, okay, that's, yeah, whatever. Sure. What was the mid scene? I can't remember. I explained why those guys are fools when they say it wasn't. Yeah. Tekla says Goose the Cat was awesome. The real hero of Captain Marvel. I hope he shows up in Endgame. If Flurkins, that's what they were, have longer lifespans than cats. I think the notion was that all cats are Flurkins. I think that's what the I think that's what the actual I think that's what they were getting at. And in this Marvel universe anyway, all cats are Flurkins, you know. It's not like the Flurkin just took the shape of a cat. I think that cats are Flurkins. They just don't need to show their tentacles or something. I don't know. So what did Tiger Claw put in here? I mean, you put this long thing about the animation, and then Captain Marvel top 760 million worldwide as newcomers overperform. The 90s was the pinnacle of technology. The 90s was when technology was advancing enough where we can do things we weren't possible before. Yeah, I guess. Terkel also says, not really. They're just an alien species that look like cats, sound like cats. The only different is what's in their mouth, which holds a pocket dimension. Okay, you know more than that than I. Sure. Or they're all cats, and some of them just don't show us. How do you know that all cats aren't Flurkins? That's the thing. And this is the Marvel. Well, I mean, you probably, like I said, you probably know more. It would have been a great joke if Fury called it a mother Flurkin cat. I don't know about that. I don't know if he was cursing all that much when he was young Nicholas Fury. They did a good job with that de-aging too, because there was a lot of shots, a lot of Nick Fury, a lot of Flurkin shots, a lot of Nick Fury shots, and then a lot of Coulson shots. Well, not a lot of Coulson shots, but yeah, they did. They got that de-aging on point. The thing is about the de-aging thing. Also, Flurkins lay lots of eggs. Okay, fine. Flurkins aren't cats; they just look like cats. Whatever. Can there be a Flurkin the size of a lion since it's a cat? Is that possible? A lion-sized Flurkin, or how about a liger? Those are bigger, right? The ligers, or is it the Tigons? I think the ligers are bigger. Ligers are giant. Imagine a Flurkin the size of a lion, a Tyon, a liger. That'd be crazy. I don't think so. Why not? Same animal, just bigger. Anyway, the de-aging. Because I looked at a picture. Well, it's a picture, so they Photoshop it. So that's a bad example. But Like, the Samuel Jackson doesn't look old. He's 72? I think he's 72. But he doesn't look like he's, you know, black don't crack and all that. He doesn't look like he's 72. He looks like he's an older, you know, African-American gentleman. But he doesn't look like he's old. So it helped. But, I mean, they did de-age some of the deeper, like, the mouth creases and stuff like that. Because, you know. But I want to see Alf try to eat a flurkin and pay for it. Who owns Alf? Is Alf a Marvel thing? No, I think, does Warner own Alf? Who owns Alf? Let's look it up. Why not? Who owns Alf? Who owns Alf? Who owns Alf? Alf. Not Alfa Romeo. How dare you? Alf TV series. United States syndicated rights are currently owned by Debmar Mercury and its parent company, Lionsgate, now owns the home video rights. Due to the inherent nature of producing a show featuring hand-operated puppets, Alf was technically difficult and demanding on series creator Fusco, and as well for its 4 lead actors. Sounds like an excuse. So, Lionsgate owns Alf. But who owns Lionsgate? This is like, you know, you gotta go down the well. You gotta go down the frickin' thing. CBS? Wait. The copyright was recorded on March 86. The parties who submitted this copyright were CBS Records. Okay, so but it should be Lionsgate. So whatever. I mean, at this point, it's all about money. So, you know, if Disney wants to, Alf comics were published by Marvel. But yeah, but that's TV and movie are different. And also, TV and movie, as far as who owns the rights, is also different. So, you know, Paramount could own the rights to Alf. You know, so they could technically TV and movie rights, so they could make the movie. So Marvel would have to go to Paramount and say, yo, but it's Lionsgate. So is there a bigger company over Lionsgate? I thought there was. I don't remember though. But, I mean, Marvel got that money, so they could throw money at them. So, yo, we want to use Alf. We want to put Alf in, blah, blah, blah. They say, sure, give us whatever. And it's like, okay, here you go. You know, that's what happened with Spider-Man. They made a deal with Sony. Or Sony made a deal with Marvel. Because, you know, Marvel knows how to make them movies. And that's what happened. And now you get some good Spider-Man movies. It's great. But, yeah. I mean, Captain Marvel is a great, dope movie. If I feel good... Like, just thinking about the movie, I'm like, I feel good about that movie. Definitely going to buy it on 4K UHD, 4K Blu-ray. You know, speaking of 4K Blu-ray, we got... Bridget picked up Mortal Engines. That was a movie I wanted to see. And she got the 4K. I'm like, thank you. She's learned. I'm teaching her well. I'm like, do not buy reg Blu-rays no more. We have an X. If I'm going to buy a movie, that means I'm going to buy a movie to watch it. Like, I want to watch this movie and to... Like, kind of for the collection, if you will. Like, I bought Suicide Squad. It was like a Black Friday. I bought Suicide Squad. I didn't buy the 4K version of Suicide Squad because I heard it was hot garbage. So I was like, the morbid curiosity. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the what was it, $7 or something, $5 version Blu-ray. It's good enough, right? So that's what I did, and it was good enough. So, oh, Junk XL. Tiger Claw. What's Junk XL's name? Because I stayed for after the credits. I'm at home, remember. And I stayed to see who did the music. And it did not say Junkie XL. So, wow. What's his name? For real. Because, Mortal Engines bombs at the box office. It was a good movie though. Peter Jackson presents. Music by that's the trailer. Junk XL interview music. A lot of people compare Mortal Engines to Mad Max, saying Peter Jackson, Mad Max. I wouldn't say that. Tom Hulkenborg. I guess that's his name. Tom Hulkenborg. So is that Junkie XL? I guess. But that was the name. Music by Tom Hulkenborg. Hulkenborg. So there you go. That's the name that I saw. Tom Hulkenborg. So based off a movie. Thank you, Tiger. Based off a movie. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna call him Tom. I'm not calling him Junkie XL. I don't like that name. That's like me doing a soundtrack. I'm like, yeah, it's Electron Bandit or it's SG. No, just use your real name, guy. I know he produces dance music, but if you're composing a movie, anyway, it doesn't matter. He should drop Junkie XL. It's not. I don't. It's just whatever. I guess it's less syllables. Anyway, I guess I'll pull up the IMDb real quick so that I know. Not Wikipedia. Here it is. IMDb. No, that's Wikipedia. IMDb. Here we go. Pull it down to here. All right, so Mortal Engines is. I'll tell you what Mortal Engines is a cross between. I was thinking about this and I totally forgot about it, so I'm gonna rethink about it right now. It's a cross between. At its root, Mortal Engines is a live-action anime. At its core, I was watching this and I was like, this is an anime. This is one of them animes where the Earth is like weird, post-apocalyptic, right? And everything's still kind of beautiful, but barren. There aren't a lot of people around. There's no cities. It's like one of those animes, not Howl's Flying Castle, or whatever, but it's just like it's a a post-apocalyptic where they have to find resources. It's one of those, and I'm like, okay, this feels like this feels like a movie that was adapted from an anime visually and all that stuff. That's what I thought at first, and then I was like, okay, and then now I just hear the Mad Max comparison, but I'm like, not really. It is really more of an anime than a Mad Max is just a totally. Mad Max is Mad Max. Mad Max is Australian post-apocalyptic. Specific. You can compare things to Mad Max. Not this. Because it's too much green. One component of Mad Max is sand brown. The parts in Tatooine in the Star Wars movies, that's Mad Max. Anyway, so Mortal Engines, the good thing about Mortal Engines is that there are a lot of British accents. And as we know, as Americans, British accents always make movies better. Okay, that's a blanket statement. But in my experience of watching movies, if there's a British accent, tends to give it a little bit extra, like, oh, Shakespearean maybe or something. I don't know. It just feels, it's like, oh, okay. Even though it was pretty well balanced actually. I think there was 3 main characters had British accents, and then the Asian lady, and then the main heroine, and her crew. I think we're all just regular Merca English. Regular English. Hugo Weaving. Bonds! Old 6, yeah. Cool. I have 30 minutes left to finish it. Yeah, the Earth is pretty much reclaiming its greenery. Yeah, Hugo Weaving. Hugo's an Aussie. That's true. But I don't think he had his Aussie accent. Because he was playing Was he playing a British? I mean, it was London. The city was London, so I think he was more a little British. He had he had kind of a indistinguishable British accent, like British, a little sprinkle of Aussie. I mean, Aussies are from Britain, if you want to be technical. They're Britain's exiles, so the root language, the root accent, I guess, is there. So it's easy for him to do a British accent. But anyway, they're from London, so we can assume that they are Londonese. I don't know if that Londoners. Londonese sounds better. Bond says he was and then he stopped. The movie is the movie connected to the Mortal Instrument? I have no idea what the Mortal Instrument is. He studies human past. London is a mobile city. Yes. Well, yeah. The whole conceit, the whole premise of Mortal Engines is that there was a super bomb, super weapon that the humans, the ancient ones, as they call them, that they created called Medusa. And it was basically like a super crazy Event Horizon nuclear super bomb, whatever it was. It wasn't nuclear, but it was some kind of plasma, whatever bomb, right? And so they set it off all over the world at once, I guess, and like destroyed every freaking city ever. I don't know how it happened, or I don't think they really go into why it happened, but it happened. And so in the aftermath, the remaining cities, if you will, mobilized and created these moving cities. So London's the biggest one, and then there's other little fishing cities, fishing towns and stuff. And so all these towns and villages and cities have wheels and they can move around so that they don't get blasted by Medusa again. I guess that was the whole reasoning. It's Bonds says, I started the movie, it's Skynet all over again. True. Because it says Britain is more city and Australia's more country. You can hear country twang in their accent. That's true. But as far as the character in the movie, he was more London, British, I guess. But so London is the biggest city, and it devours other cities in order. It takes in the people, and it says, okay, you can have jobs, and we'll give you homes and stuff. And they take the raw materials from their cities and towns and absorb it into theirs, so they can have fuel to keep moving. Basically, so they need fuel, they need food, all those things. They need resources. So that's what they're doing. And there's a land bridge because the world has shifted somewhat. They actually don't go too much into the geography of the Earth at this point, but they said there's a land bridge. I don't know where from, because they went into the land bridge from Britain to Europe. That's what happened. So they were in London the city, the mobile city. London was in Britain. The island, but their land bridge happened, so they crossed over into the rest of Europe, and that's where they are now. That's where the movie takes place, in Europe. Bonds says, I did like the way the cities traverse the land, the fast and fluid. London's a predatory city. Yeah, this movie sounds awful. It sounds, I mean, that premise is awful, how the big cities are eating the little cities and stuff. And it kind of is. I mean, not really, but it's a really cool movie. Like I said, it feels like a live action anime. How it's like, Hugo Weaving's the bad guy, obviously, and his daughter's there. And then there's this other little British dude, and there's the class system. And so Hugo Weaving's upper class, and his daughter is upper class by nepotism, by relation, obviously not nepotism, but by relation. And the other character, I forgot his name. He's lower class. He's like a dude in the museum, but he's really a artifact finder. So he digs into the garbage. Like, so when they absorb a city, what they do is they take all the crap, the trash, the scrap, basically, and they put it in the furnace in order to fuel London. So his job is to go, when they absorb a city, to go and to find the artifacts from the cities, from the old time, from the ancient times, which is like now times, and because it's like 3000, I think it's past the year 3000 when Mortal Engines happens. And yeah, the music is really good. Kaiju says he finally saw Solo. Not bad, I enjoyed it. Yeah, Solo was good. I think Mortal Engines is actually a better movie than Solo. I have a soft spot for Solo because I like the Millennium Falcon is my ship. So I'm always gonna kind of like that movie better, not better, but a little bit better. Okay. Bond says it's not a bad movie. It will keep you watching. They did give the backstory some fleshing out. Oh, Solo. Yeah, Solo's good. Solo's good. I bought the 4K Blu-ray. Was it 4K? No, I think I just bought the regular Blu-ray. No, I bought the 4K Blu-ray. But it's good. I like Ron Howard as a filmmaker. But Mortal Engines is cooler because it's just totally like... Okay, so there's... I was thinking about this too. Like, there's parts where they have like flying machines and stuff. Flying machines. They have like... Not planes, but they're like... They're like part plane, part glider, part rocket jet, part balloon. So it's like a hybrid. Anyway, and there's like 4 of them because London destroys. Eventually, Hugo Weaving gets Medusa going and destroys the Walls fleet. I forgot what the Shangao or whatever the other. There's like a promised land and there's this giant wall. I guess that's supposed to be China or something. Don't know, but oh my gosh, okay, Tiger Claw reminded me of one of the best parts of the movie, which makes it feel like an anime even more. Tiger Claw says, Mortal Engine also has the subplot involving this girl and a cyborg. Oh my gosh, when the part happened with, what's his name? I gotta look it up. Where is it? Give me the freaking, where's the characters? Shrike. Shrike is the character he's talking about. When the part happened with Shrike, I was like, little tear came. I was like, oh snap. So good. That whole subplot with Shrike was so good. I think it was the best part of it. It was that subplot was so good. It kind of felt like one of those things like Vanity, was it Vanity of the Butterfly? What was that Firefly movie with that what's his name made? That was the most heartbreaking evil anime ever created because it was like, oh man, these kids is like, wow. Something of the Butterflies. It's Shrike, yeah, Shrike. But it was so good. And he was like a Terminator. I was like, oh snap, this is kinda good right here. He's like the Terminator. He's coming. I was like, oh snap, and then they flipped the script. I was like, uh-oh. Oh, man. It was so good. I'm just thinking about it right now. I was like, yeah, if that part wasn't in the movie, this movie would be like, okay, it's all right. But that made the movie, that, like, elevated the movie like an extra boom right there. And I was like, okay, all right. He's her T-800. Yeah. Yeah. And it's sad because, you know, the tragedy is that Shrike used to be a human, and I guess he was part of a military experiment or something, and he was the last of these type of soldiers that they made. It's very weird, and so they removed all emotion and supposedly all memories, but I think he retained something because I think he had a kid. There's a picture of a man and a child, and we're assuming that was him and his kid, and you know, you put those little things together, and then they kind of form that little bond relationship because in the beginning, well, during her story, she, her name is, what is her name? Hester Shaw. She, her mom is killed, right? So she's an orphan, and Shrike picks her up and takes care of her, basically. And until she grows up to, like, around her age now, I would probably say, you know, 5 to 10 years, something like that. You know, 5 to 7 years, something like that. And Bond says, yes, you're right. He did have latent memories of his human life. Yeah, and that's why he was like building little kind of dolls and stuff and machines to, I guess, emulate what he had before. I'm telling, man, that whole part with Shrike, I was not expecting a green-eyed Terminator to be like the best part of this movie. It totally changed, like when that part happened and all that stuff happened, and then subsequently what happens to him. I was like, oh. I was like, oh man, this movie. You know what? That was the pinnacle right there. And then everything else happened. I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're gonna fight, and this is whatever. And the bad guy's probably gonna die. Whatever. But the whole that part, Shrike, was it. That was it. I need a T-shirt with his face on, with him and the little version of Hester, just chilling, just chilling, and with no words, no ref, just the robot dude, you know, being a robot, and the girl just chilling, being like a little girl, whatever. And that's that. I'm gonna have to draw that because that boils down to a moment in time, you know, for both characters. They both needed each other. He needed to kind of reconnect to the human side that he had lost. She needed someone to help her survive, basically, even though it was rough going at first because he just put the can of whatever that was out there for her. It was so cool. And, you know, and the whole thing where she made the promise to be like him, and that's why he switched to like Terminator mode, because he was, you know, at first you're like, oh, he just wants to kill her, nobody knows why, and then they explain why, and he clicks, he something clicks in him, and he realizes, oh, he really cares for her, and he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do anything against her will, just, you know, for selfish reasons, which makes his character even that much more better. Even though he's a heartless, emotionless, for the most part, Terminator dude, it's just like, boom, when that happened, he's like, you love him, or whatever he said, and she didn't even say anything, and he was like, okay, boom, and that's where he dies eventually. And I was like, I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, it's so good. And honestly, that if that was a short, I mean, it doesn't make sense without the context of the rest of the movie. But I think that right there is kind of the heart and soul of the movie. Even though it's a subplot, even though it's like, it's kind of a backstory of how, you know, how did she survive, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of the heart and soul of the movie. I don't even care about her romance with other dude. What's his name? It's not Beavis. Tom. With Tom. I don't care. I don't care about that. They didn't even kiss. I don't think they kissed at all. They hugged at the end or something. Yeah, they never kissed. So I'm like, that proves to me that it wasn't even important. Their romance wasn't even important. It was the fact that she was like, she cares for him. She was crying because he was like kind of dead, or Strife was about to kill his ass. And she was like, no. It's like, okay. Bond says you need the shirt to say BFF for life. BFF for life plus BFF plus for life plus star whatever the extra is. Bonds also says have him and her holding his skipping off into the holding hands skipping off into the sunset. No, that's a little too goofy. That would be cool. But there's so many different, because, you know, this is when she was a little kid, little girl, so there's so many just different scenarios you can have. They can have a whole second movie with just them, you know, that whole time. Bonds also said the rest of the film is trimming. The subplot is the glue that held the film from the middle to the end. Yep. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Once that happened, I was like, I'm coming down. When I was talking about that, I had a little adrenaline spike. That's how good that part of the movie is. Woo, man. And as far as technically, it's a really good looking movie. Like I said, there's only a few parts where the green screen edge kind of took me out of it, and that tends to happen when the actors are on like a full green screen set, and they're like they were sliding down this part where the city was absorbing. London was absorbing the other towns. That happened in Black Panther for me. It happens all the time. That's a hard thing to do. I think it really is about the lighting. The lighting was a little off, and that's always the case. If the lighting's off when you do green screen, it's gonna look weird, and that's what kind of happened. It was close, but it was a little off. But there's a lot of special effects scenes in this movie, so that's understandable. But I like the world. It's like not cyberpunk. It's like wow, what's the word? Not cyberpunk. Steampunk. It's like steampunk. It's like steampunk anime, live action. It's, if you guys remember that movie, the anime Steam Boy, it's kind of like that, actually. That's why I say it's like an anime, because I know there are animes out there. There are anime out there that resemble the feeling of this movie, but it's a little extra. You know what I mean? So because it's kind of it's not based in because Steam Boy is also based in, it's an alternate future past. I think it's an alternate past in Steam Boy, but Steam Boy and Mortal Engines feel the same as far as it's a steampunk anime. That's what Mortal Engines feels like, a steampunk anime. So, you know, it has low tech, but it's high tech, or it's post-apocalyptic. So, you know, and that's one thing that's weird to me, that like all this ancient tech, how come there's like literally no one on the earth that remembers? Oh, I mean, they have the artifacts, but like reverse engineer it and make new phones. What's wrong with y'all? You know, y'all using these old ass tubes. What's wrong? I don't get it. That's the one thing that my suspension of disbelief, I disbelief to disbelief. I was like, no, you guys have this stuff, this old stuff. There's somebody out there that's making this stuff work. You got those old ass TVs working, and tubes, and no, this is, you know. But like I said, that's part of the aesthetic, so I get it. So I let it slide. But, and since it's like 3,000 years in the future, I'm like, yeah, come on, son. 3,000 years ago, we weren't even close to what we're doing now. So if there's a weapon that wipes out all the technology and stuff, we still have the knowledge. As long as our race continues, for the most part, we still have the knowledge of, you know, resistors and you know, silicon microchips and all that stuff, right? That doesn't go away. You know, we have images, we have pictures of all that stuff, so you can say, oh, this is how this works. You can reverse engineer and make it work. So that's the one thing that was like, whatever. But that's the book, so, or I don't know if it's, I guess it's the book. It's based off a book. It's a 4-book series, I believe. The main thing is that it bombed at the box office, so they'll probably never make a sequel. They should make a sequel because it was a freaking awesome movie. But the thing that made it movie, once again, Strife. Sorry. Go back to Shrike. Messing up his name. It was Shrike in the relationship, and that did it. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say anything else about the movie that isn't just like fluffer, filler, whatever. It feels like a Peter Jackson movie, even though he didn't direct it. Actually, you know what? I think it feels a little bit better than a Peter Jackson movie. I'm not saying Peter Jackson's a bad director. He's great. But who directed it? Let me go back up here. The director is... The director is Christian Rivers. So let's look at Christian Rivers. Let's see what he has done. His filmography. Wait, he did King Lord. Wait. Oh, he's an art department dude from Weta. Oh, so wait, is this his? Hold up, filmography. Wait, is this his first movie? Oh wow, he was on the Frighteners. He was a storyboard artist back in the day. All right, so director. He directed 3. He did Mortal Engines, Minutes Past Midnight, Segment Feeder, and Feeder. So just like 2 shorts. And Mortal Engines was his first big movie, first feature. Wow, that's his first movie? Okay, that's good. And so he's been a storyboard artist for all that other stuff. King Kong, 2005. Wait, which one was that? Oh, that was the Peter Jackson King Kong. Duh. So all the Peter Jackson stuff, he Dead Alive. I don't even know what that is. So Heavenly Creatures was Peter Jackson's first film. So he was storyboard artist. Okay, cool. He did The Hobbit. He did all the Hobbit stuff. He did King Kong. He did all the Lord of the Rings. Assistant art director, uncredited. Storyboard artist, uncredited. He did a lot of uncredited stuff, but he was there. That's cool. So this is first. If this is his first movie, wow, that's good. That's really good. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing music or Blender stuff now. I guess that's it for Mortal Engines. Let me see. Jai Hai. I don't know how you say her name. Anna Fang, the Asian lady. She was pretty good. Ronan Beavis Pod. Oh, he was a doofus. He was a bad person. Shrike was so good. Who else? Yeah, I mean everything else. There was another part where there was where they got quote unquote rescued, but then they were taken to be sold off as slaves, and that's where what's her name came through, the Asian lady. What's her name again? Wow, I just totally forgot it. It's Anna Fang. It's really good. It's really good. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about it, but definitely if you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. Not go see it, go get it. The Blu-ray, oh my god, it looks so good. Looks so good. The 4K Blu-ray looks so. I don't know what the regular Blu-ray, but because I haven't watched that one, but it really. I have to go back and see. I usually look at the behind the scenes stuff right away, but I haven't done that yet. But I need to go back and watch that stuff because I always like to see how they like made certain shots and stuff. But man, and the music is really good too. Like I said, Junkie XL, whatever. Bleh. I think that's it for the Mortal Engines. Definitely recommended. Definitely. Wow. Damn, man. Got me thinking about freaking Shrike now. Got me thinking about Shrike forever now. Oh, so good. I'm trying to think. Like, even Captain Marvel didn't have a moment like that. That's what's so crazy. Like, Captain Marvel had the cool moment where she stood up, and she became Captain Marvel and flames and stuff. Even though they showed that in the trailer, I was like, oh, I felt it when I saw it in the movie theater. Nah, son, Shrike. No. I'm trying to remember. I think Logan was the closest thing to that type of emotion where you have the older hero or older character and the young character, and drama happens and the older character dies. Spoiler, Logan dies at the end. Yeah, but I still think that Shrike was better because he is introduced as an enemy, as an antagonist. And then you realize, oh, he wasn't always. Oh, what changed? Oh, why did it change? And it's all logic because he's like a cyborg. But it made it so much like his turn at the end, or before his demise, makes it so much more powerful, more so than any other more than Logan, more than what happens in Captain Marvel, which is there's no real heavy stuff in Captain Marvel, not really. So I'm like, yo, Mortal Engines is on the top for that stuff right there. I'm like, wow, okay, boom. It's But I do agree with Bonds about how they animated the cities and how they kind of rolled over the kind of like a tank, kind of like the tumbler / tank. It's like a big the wheels like you expect it to be like super rough, but it's like feels like, oh, okay, yeah, it like when I'm watching that, that's how it feels like it should be moving and reacting. And yeah, they did a really good job. Weta ain't no joke. Weta. Like, now this guy, Christian Rivers, that's his name, right? Now I'm going to be watching for him. Now he's, like, on my watch list. Now it's like, okay, we have a new director. We got a new director in our midst, Christian Rivers. And as long as he's part of Weta, as far as, like, you know, he's directing it, you know, let Peter Jackson produce it, whatever, write some of it, whatever. And he's got Weta behind him and that whole Wingnut Productions or whatever it's called. Okay, sure, make more movies, please. What's the next movie coming out? Where's the, let me see if there are any. I want to see if I was at his page before. I want to see if there's any in development stuff. Filmography. Jump to director. Nope, that's it. Just that one. That sucks. I want. Because they usually have like the stuff coming up. I guess he has nothing coming up because it was a failure. That sucks, man. All right, I'm gonna close this. That kind of sucks, man. It's kind of disappointing because. Oh, dude, that was funny. Bonds. I totally forgot about that. I laughed when that part. I was like, oh snap. The old statues of minions at the start of the film in the London Museum was hilarious. And what did they say? They said what they call them, the American Idol, not American Idols. They said it was something. I was like, okay, all right, that was pretty good. Bond says, I don't think the film box office take was enough for a sequel. Universal Pictures has the Fast and Furious franchise to milk. American Deities. Yeah, that was it. Oh man, that was funny. That I was like, okay, y'all motherflowers got jokes. And so yeah, man, that's good. But yeah, man, Kaijudo, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a good flick. And I'll always say it's a live action anime. That's what I will always say that. Even Tom kind of looks like an anime dude with his hair and his like how they have all these suits in the museum. I guess it's each level of class, each class of citizen has a different way of dressing, obviously, but they have these weird suits. I guess they're museum suits, or I don't even understand that part. Do they work for London? Is that what it is? Because I know his boss, the black dude, had that, but he was better. Tom had his, which was kind of right. Then his douchey other kid who framed him had it. And then his daughter didn't work for the museum, so she didn't have it. She was just rich. And then his friend with the silver hair who saw, what's his name, kick Tom off the thing, was in a different, he was more like a mechanic, I guess. He had the silver stuff. He had the silver and gray suit. So even though I don't understand how all those different sects or different variations of citizen works in Mortal Engines, it makes it feel like an anime because they look like freaking, you know how everybody has uniforms and stuff in anime. That's what this was, and you know, to distinguish the different jobs or whatever. That's what this was. One of them literally had like silver hair. He was a young dude with silver hair, kind of anime-ish. Did someone have blue hair? Probably. I wasn't paying attention too much. Tom had anime hair. It's anime. So yeah, go watch it. Anyway, done with that. Is there anything else? I only got a half an hour left as far as the technical show. And I was working on this beforehand, so I don't know if I'm gonna work on it tonight. Let me show. I'll pull up the. Let me switch. We're switching gears. Let me pull up. I was working on some. I was thinking about, instead of doing live action for this video, live action composited on this, I was thinking about doing either building CG characters, which I have not done yet, ever, and rigging them and animating them, which I've had zero experience, so that's something I would have to learn, or doing 2D animation. Wake up, that's the one. So this is what I drew as a starting point, I guess. I used the mirror technique, the mirror modifier, so that I wouldn't have to work too hard. So basically, oh wow, it's really sluggish. Probably have to close this. Let me close it. Start it again. But I drew that because I wanted to see if that is something that. Oh yeah, it's probably because I'm streaming out and streaming in 1,000 different things. Let me close this one. Let me just pause it. I don't need to pause that one. But and I have Discord. Discord actually uses a lot of resources. But anyway, this was kind of just the first attempt at drawing a lady. So the premise is that this character would. Yeah, I could barely do anything in this. Would wake up at the end. So the camera would go throughout the whole ship and then zoom on her face and then she wake up, right? That's part of the story I have in my brain. I don't know if I don't know if I like her face, and I wanted it to look more like one of the like the Frozen chick, Elsa, whatever her name is in Frozen, like the cat proportions. That's what Disney does. Well, a lot, but Disney does the cat proportions, especially in Frozen, and that's it's attractive automatically. It's just a proportion thing. It's just that's how the human mind works. Don't ask me why. That's just how it works. So, and that's what this is not that. So I would have to go and Bond says, I am big into film, says Bonds. Cool. I like movies too. I still collect Blu-rays. Now I'm into 4K Blu-rays. So, but yeah. So I haven't decided if I were to do 2D animation, which I think I can do better than the CG at this point because I have more experience with drawing, obviously. I think I want to do a rough of it to see if I can get the motion. And if I can get the motion, then I can sit there and do each frame and clean them up and stuff. What I have to do is I need to do a whatchamacallit first. I need to do a character sheet because I don't have that yet. I need a character sheet so I can get her face perfect. I don't really need the whole body. It's just a kind of a shoulder face up, so I don't need the whole body. So I'm gonna do a character sheet with the head, figure that out, and I need to take my time and just really get consistent with that. Get the right the side and the front and all that stuff. Once I do that, then I'll try my hand at the 2D animation, and then I'm going to if it works out, then I'll just clean it up and color it up. The only thing is I'm trying to figure out how to color in Blender, and I'm having difficulties because this is the beta, so it's not 100% right away. It's not 100% finished, so I'm having difficulties with the colors. I couldn't fill. I was like, the fill isn't working right. I don't understand. So yeah, I was having some issues with it. But I mean, because animation takes a long time, and if I could fill, like I draw the face and I just fill it, one color, boom, move on, then go back and do the shadows later, that'd be cool. But I couldn't even fill, so I was like, I would have to hand fill every frame. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Even though it might be, 100 and something frames, 150 frames maybe. Like 5 seconds worth of, 5 seconds, yeah, 120, what is that? 5 times, yeah, 120 frames about. Be about 120 frames. Even though it's just that, and this whole animation is about 5,688 frames. Right now it's not going at speed. I'll show you how it is at speed, because the materials and the lighting slows it down. So when you do it like this. Oops, there we go. Do it like this. Now it's at speed, so it only comes in because the nebula is not showing it. But anyway, the coloring, man. If I can get that coloring down quickly, then I can do it. I can't until I learn how to color correctly on this. I can't do it unless I animate it in GIMP. I don't know if I want to do that though. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this is the actual speed of how it would run. For the most part. Actually, let me see. Put the frames up here. Yeah, so you see the frames up in the corner there. So I have it set at 24 frames per second. It goes up and down 1 or 2 frames. But yeah, 27. What was that? 49. Yeah, it's jumping up a little high. I guess it's the frame pacing. I would have to see why it does that. But I don't think it would do that when I render it, because right now it's doing it and I'm streaming and everything, so it's probably messing it up a little bit. But once I render it out, it'll probably, it just renders frame for frame, so I think it'll be all right. I won't have any performance hitches when it comes to that. Bonds. Well, what kind of I know you say you're big into film. Like, what kind of films are you into? Like, cause I like a lot of stuff. I like the Marvel stuff. That's fine. It's entertaining. I guess my favorite type of films. Horror is good. I mean, I don't go out and seek it like, oh, I love horror. I mean, I'm not that crazy about horror like that, but I appreciate it definitely. Like that new movie, the Jordan Peele joint, Us. I'm like, yo, that commercial is ridiculous. Cause I saw Get Out, right? I was like, okay, but Us is like, that's amped up because we know he's doing. I was like, yo, that looks so crazy. Bond says, I saw the Weta Digital booth and New York Comic Con 2016 still have a pic of their stuff. Smog from Ooh, Smog. I think Smog is one of my favorite characters in the Hobbit stuff because Benedict Cumberbatch did his thing with that voice, man. I was like, ooh, man, that's some bass right there. Rumble, rumble. It was really good. The Hobbit stuff is cool. I like fantasy. I like high fantasy. I like the mashups. That's why I think Mortal Engines was so cool because it was like a steampunk mashup. Not really fantasy, but almost kind of. But like I said, it's more of a what the heck is his name? That guy who retired. I don't remember, but he did the Spirited Away, and he did Princess Mononoke. He did all those things. Studio Ghibli, that guy. But I mean, I like sci-fi definitely. Star Wars is cool. I like sci-fi when it's. I also do Asian and EU films. I mean, I don't care where they're from. It doesn't have to be America. It doesn't have to be American films. It can be from anywhere. I like there's certain anime I like that whatchamacallit. Like when Afro Samurai came out, it was cool because it's like, oh, it's ancient samurai and all that stuff, but with hip hop, I'm like, okay, I like that. I like that hip hop right there. That's the hip hop I like. But then it got all sci-fi with the cyborg stuff. I was like, well, I kind of like this. And then there was a part where he was fighting. I forgot who he was fighting. That dude that was the cyborg with the bear head. But I think it was just before or just I forgot. But there was a part where this music kicked in and they flew up in the atmosphere and they flew back down. I was like, oh snap! It got crazy. And Samuel Jackson, that was him again. Wow. Okay. Bonds is crazy. Bonds nanas. He says, we can talk Star Wars. I have a PDF of the systems. I was a film noir EP. Oh, nice. Dude, where do you have that PDF, man? Where's that PDF? I want to check a PDF out. Like like when they showed the map in whatchamacallit, in The Force Awakens, it kind of put into context the galaxy that Star Wars takes place in, because I assume that Star Wars takes place in a singular galaxy far, far away a long time ago. But in a galaxy far, far away, right? Just one. So, it kind of like, I didn't think about it. Even though it's smacked into your face every single movie, every time you go to sit down to see Star Wars, it says, in a galaxy far away, in a galaxy far, far away, a galaxy, one galaxy. You just don't think about that. But the map kind of like, oh, that's right, I forgot. It's a galaxy. Does it look like ours? Is it like Milky Way? Is it super spiral? Does it have like what's the Milky Way have? Three arms, I think. Like the spiral arms, or does it have more? I don't even know. I have to look at how am I gonna look at a picture of the Milky Way? We inside it. How did they do that? I want to know. It's gonna be after I'm well dead, but I want to see a picture of the Milky Way galaxy. Can they do that? How long would it take for a satellite to beam a picture? How long would it take for Voyager to leave the galaxy? I think it already left the Oort cloud, I think, right? Or it left the not the Oort cloud. Was it the Oort cloud? Is that what it's called? It's the Wow, my brain just shut off. Bond says, I have the inner systems, the outer systems, and the fringe systems. The whatchamacallit? The outer rim. I have a detailed info on each planet, their AU mass, star lifespan, geology. We are in a spiral arm galaxy of the Milky Way. Yeah, I know we're in a spiral arm, but how many arms does the Milky Way actually have? Because it doesn't have just one arm going around. I don't think. I think it has more than one. I thought it was 2 or 3, because it's, you know, it's a spiral. I think it's 2, right? Let's look it up. I mean, we have the internet here. We should use it, right? Right. Let's see. How many arms the Milky Way galaxy have? Someone was searching that. One, two. Wait a second. It's 1, 2, 2 big ones, and then there's smaller ones kind of coming off. 3. It's about 4. It's about 4 from what I can see. There's 2 big ones and smaller ones in between them. As far as this picture goes, let's see if I can get a better picture. This is Wikipedia. Let me put down here. So this is the image. So I don't know if this is accurate. Who knows? But you see 1, 2, and then there's 1, 2. And this one kind of splits off there too, but I don't count that little, there's a little tangential arm there. It's kind of splits, and it splits a little bit there too, and a little bit there too, but I think that's just kind of fringe stuff. So, but 2 plus little 2, so I'd say 4. We could say 4, but 2 main ones. That's cool. Knowledge. But yeah, so like thinking about our galaxy, and then thinking about the Star Wars galaxy, I'd like to. Did you get it off the internet? Because can I just go and grab it somewhere? The Star Wars stuff. If so, let me look it up. Derp. I'm sure it's on here. Star Wars galaxy image. PDF, there is. No, Star Wars magazine. That's not what image. Galaxy image? No, not the actual galaxy of the Star. See, that's they named the freaking park Galaxy's Edge, and now it's like confusing. I can't even. New era photos of Star Wars. I don't care about the Galaxy's Edge. I want the freaking galaxy of Star. Okay. Our sun's about 4.6 billion years old. Yeah, that's true. They say it's about halfway through its life cycle. So, I mean, that'd be interesting as far as, like us as humans on this earth, maybe 10,000. I mean, it's more than 10,000 years, obviously, but I would say as far as modern technology and where we're at, you can go back to, 7,000 or wherever, where the Chinese calendar starts. I think it's 6,000 or 7,000. I can't remember. That's nothing. Then you're like thinking 100,000 years ago. I think we were around, but we're just more primitive, not really recording our history. Didn't think it was that important or whatever. I don't know what happened to make us change. Evolution. Maybe we got into those mushrooms and stuff. Maybe some aliens came down and crossbred. There's all this crazy stuff talking about it, but who knows? Anyway. Thinking about from where we are now, 4.6 billion or 4 billion years in the future, if we don't kill ourselves, which I don't think we will. I mean, people are like, oh, we're not going to make it that long. We're going to destroy the Earth. I'm like, might be right, but what will happen is the Earth will change. There'll be another, not flood, but the sea levels will rise. There'll probably be another ice age. All these things will happen. We'll probably get hit by an asteroid, something like that. Caldera might erupt, which is probably just as bad as getting hit by an asteroid, and it'll mess up our population, but we'll bounce back. Bridges into the whole Earth age thing, where I don't know, we had Earth ages before. I'm like, you're probably right, but you know, we need to safeguard against all of our knowledge and history and technology being erased by one of these world events. If you go back to Eastern calendar, then the time change. If you go back to be Eastern calendar, then the time change. Yeah, I don't know how old. I wish that we would like use. I hate the fact that we're, you know, it's 2019, but honestly, it's not. It's way older than that, but it's like BCE. Wow, BCE and ADE, whatever, before C event, current events, or whatever they change it to be more politically correct and not as religious, which is whatever. So I'm like, okay, so why don't we? I understand why we don't change it because we have stuff set a certain way. So we have these choices as a species: evolve, migrate, go the way of the dinos. Yeah, so we'll adapt. So, most of us will adapt. Some of us won't adapt. Some of us can adapt. Some of us can't even, you know, survive out in the woods regular now. You know, I don't know if I would be able to. I might be able to. I might eat something wrong and die like that dude in that one movie where he was out in the wilderness. I think it was Canada or something. Then there's the fourth option. Wake up from the simulation and leave the Matrix. Is that what you're talking about? I think the Matrix is one of the top movies as far as like conceptually and stuff. But there's a lot of like, you know, talking about film, less about our future as a human species. Yeah, there's a lot of like I think the best movies for me are the ones that kind of, you know, you relate to, obviously, but, you know, make great characters and all that stuff, but also take what you believe as reality and kind of distort it or give you a different perspective. That's what the Matrix did. I was like, oh, so we could be in a simulation right now. We wouldn't know because our brains, you know, dictate how we feel and what we feel. We smell, cold, hot, you know, all that stuff. So it's just a message basically from your CPU, which is your brain, to the nerves in your body, which is also a brain thing, you know. What? Oh. The fourth option is tech singularity. Yes, but we still need to be able to preserve the tech in the real world. So if we do tech singularity, right? Someone still needs to be alive, or we have to create a system that will survive in space, basically, because we need to probably launch the singularity as a collective into space because the Earth was not going to be here forever. So when the 4.6 billion years is over and the sun expands and it envelops the inner solar system and everything's toast, we either dig underground and put the computers down there, the singularities down there, our tech singularities down there, and wait for the sun to, you know, shrink back and cool down, and then, you know, I don't think that's a good idea. Or go into space, which is bad too because there's stuff in space that you could run into. I guess by then we would create a spacecraft with AI smart enough to have object avoidance because Tesla has cars like that already. So yeah, that's not too hard to believe. Solar powered, you know, it'll be renewable, so it'll last forever. I would say space is gonna be the place. You know, even if we leave, even if we all become robots or, you know, singularity peoples, beings in the computers, we can't survive on Earth forever because Earth will not survive forever, and that's the end of everything. Is the end of Earth as far as staying here. We can't do it. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. We would need to use all the energy our sun generates. Yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think it's too far ahead in the scope of technology and imagination right now. That was medicine. I'm thinking about something else. But yeah, there's always new ways to create kind of like energy. Like I'm sure there's a way to capture like the solar radiation in space, rather than it being filtered through our atmosphere and then capture it with solar cells. Um, then there is heat death. Oh, yeah, of course, heat death. That we don't want the heat death. That's what we're trying to avoid. Well, as a species. But I mean, you might be right, man. We at that point, I mean, come on, son. 4 billion years from now, we will definitely not be on this planet. Like, I mean, I'm sure there'll still be people on the planet, humans, but I'm pretty sure that we will have left Earth and at least colonized Mars, probably terraformed Mars, maybe, if we can get Mars to hold an atmosphere. I mean, it has an atmosphere, it has carbon dioxide, but I'm not too sure if it can hold a thick enough atmosphere that we can survive in, because it's a bit, I believe it's 1/5 the gravity of Earth. So the gravity isn't just to hold us on the planet. The gravity is to hold the atmosphere on the planet. So if it doesn't have enough gravity to hold the atmosphere, I think that's what happened. I think that's what that's something I saw. Somebody explained it to me. As far as like they explained it, it was the solar winds blew off the atmosphere of Mars, so that it had like there's still water on Mars. It's just frozen, but it had a Earth-like atmosphere at one point, but the gravity is so low that the solar winds blew off, not right away, but I guess slowly blew off the whatever was in the hydrogen and maybe probably some oxygen and all that stuff off of the planet surface. So we need to find a place. We need to find another planet that can hold an atmosphere. Basically, we need a Earth gravity planet first. Then we got to worry about temperature. Then we have to worry about whatchamacallit, I guess radiation, or just I mean, like, we're in the sweet spot, so we can't really mess with like binary star systems, because they're, I think, a little too not unpredictable, but they vary so much that well, I guess it depends on how far away the planet is and how. Wait, do planets? Are there planets revolving around a binary star system? And how would that work? That wouldn't work unless it's in the same kind of in the same orbit trail. Like, if say there's a big star and a smaller star, and then there's a planet within the same linear orbit as that smaller star, but they're on the opposite sides of the bigger star, then that would work technically, because the bigger star, the smaller star is far away enough that it wouldn't affect the planet. I think it would probably just, if it was in sequence, and if it was synced up as far as the rotation, revolutions, excuse me, orbits. We still need to master metallurgy. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, the gravity was not strong enough for keep Mars' atmosphere. Yes, there are planets and binary systems. I mean, I would assume that, since just the pure number of planets. But I just want to see. I want to know like the variation of kind of the temperatures and kind of not temperatures, yeah, but just the actual conditions on the planets and where they're positioned, and if they're like, say if it's in the sweet spot at one point in its rotation, but then the other star gets too close or whatever, and then boom, that won't work, not for us. So yeah, I mean, we're lucky. Earth is lucky in that we have Sol. Sol is our sun. That's what it's called. I mean, people is like, oh, it's the sun. I mean, yeah, but its name is Sol, which means sun in Spanish, I believe, Latin or whatever. But that's why it's called the solar system, because it's soul. It's the soul system. That's our system, is the soul system. SOL. And sun is just a term of the star that is the center of a particular solar system. But that's even inaccurate, because Sol is the name of our system. So, I mean, that's where a little bit of, I guess, Earth bias comes in. Like, say if we, it's hundreds of thousands of years in the future. We've visited. We have other outposts, other planets. Say we're in what's the closest one? Let's say we go to Betelgeuse, right? Betelgeuse is Betelgeuse a galaxy or a star? I think it's a star. The smaller star would have to be in a safe zone where it will not fall into the bigger star's gravitational pull, and also not get ejected by. Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is that basically everything is kind of set up. Not like early solar system or star system. Let's say that star system formation, like our star system, like the solar system's early days was crazy, right? Some people say that Jupiter was a star, but it went out, and I'm like, okay, it is a gas planet, so that's not impossible. But is that how that works, or? No, that's not how gas giants work. Gas giants are just formed from gas. So what's the core of Jupiter? Is it a liquid metal core, a super iron core, super hot? I think there's a lot of radiation coming off of Jupiter, so there's some credence to where it might have been. Or it might have started out as an early star and just didn't make it as a star and just turned into a gas giant. I mean, these are all things that are kind of interesting, and like, I wonder, wow, okay. Like, we could have been a binary star system if Jupiter was a star. If you think about it that way, And then, all those things kind of lend to my imagination as far as, like, why I like those type of movies and stuff. Like the movie Moon with Sam Rockwell, that was, even though it was more of a drama piece, it was cool because it was on the moon and it was cloning and it was all kind of crazy. I was like, man, this is a really cool movie. And it was sci-fi, but it wasn't like crazy, fantasy sci-fi. It was more down-to-earth sci-fi. It was really good. Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B form a binary pair, the example. Oh, okay, Alpha Centauri. Yeah, because when I wrote the song, not this song, it was another song. And I was looking up star systems that were close. And Alpha Centauri, I think Alpha Centauri is the closest star, I believe, right? No, let's look it up. Stop. I always like, I don't know. Look this stuff up, man. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Look it up. You have the internet at your disposal. Closest. Closest. Star system to Earth is nearest stars and brown dwarfs. Alpha Centauri, yeah. Proxima Centauri is the. Hold up, I gotta pull this up because I just have the little. La la la, da, 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 da. So white dwarf, brown dwarf. All right. So, okay. So designation system, solar system, star is the sun. All right. So, in English, it's sun. It's from Sol, which is Spanish and or Latin. I'm not sure if it is actually Latin, but it probably is. All right. So. Light years away. The sun is 0.0000158 light years away from Earth. Obviously, that's where the measurement is from. Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri, is, which is V645 Centauri, 4.2441 plus or minus 0.0011, which is a lot when you talk about light years. But yeah, so Proxima Centauri is 4.24, 4.25 light years away. And how long is it going to take to travel a light year? Like 100,000 years or something like that? 300,000 years? I forgot what it was. Like, we'll never make it. Actually, I guess it depends on how speed. Alright, so Proxima Centauri, then Centauri A, Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B, which is the binary system, which you would say. I always go Latin. Way easy to recall. Yeah. I would assume everything that most things that they name as far as stars and stuff go is Latin. Let me pull this down here so you guys can see it. So I can see it better. Alright. Pull this down here. Barnard star? I never heard of Barnard star. Stellar class. See, that's good. That's good to know. So our sun is G2V5. The G-type main sequence star, often called the yellow dwarf, or the G... Wait, our star is a yellow dwarf? I didn't know that. Or G-dwarf star is a main sequence star of spectral type G. Such a star has about 0.84 to 1.5 solar masses and surface temperature between 5,000 tables like an other. I'm sorry. Let me open that. Like other main sequence stars, the G-type main sequence star is converting the element hydrogen to helium in its core by means of nuclear fission. Okay. Sun star, solar system, and the object with the largest apparent magnitude. I don't even know what apparent magnitude is. The apparent magnitude of an astronomical object is a number that is a measure of its brightness as seen by an observer on Earth. The magnitude scale is logarithmic math. A difference of 1 in magnitude corresponds to a change of brightness by a factor of 5. Is that over 100? Or 2.512? Huh. Okay, so apparent magnitude is the brightness of the star from Earth. Is the measure of the brightness. Okay. Alright, we're learning. Sol is a class 5 star. We just said, oh yeah, class 5. G2V. Type G. G-type sequence star. Class 5. So absolute magnitude. Oh, I guess the class is what the magnitude is. It's how easy or hard it is to see star in the naked eye. Yeah. We need the FTL. We don't. Yeah. Faster than light. 4.666 light years away. So I guess the absolute magnitude, not apparent magnitude. So the absolute magnitude is the class, right? Absolute magnitude is the measure of the luminosity of a celestial object, right? Right, so that's what it is. Parsecs. An object absolute magnitude is defined to be equal to the apparent magnitude that the object would have if it were viewed from a distance of exactly 10 parsecs. Wait, what? An object's absolute magnitude is defined to be equal to the apparent magnitude that the object would have if it were viewed. All right, so equal to if 10 parsecs away. So the absolute magnitude is equal to apparent magnitude from 10 parsecs. Something like that. So the absolute magnitude is the class, because it's 4.85. I would assume that they rounded up. That's my assumption. I don't know if that's true, but that's the only number that I see here. That's there. Whoa, they discovered Proxima Centauri in 1915? I didn't know that. And when did they discover the sun? Just kidding. 1689 they discovered Centauri B. Wow, Alpha Centauri B, one suspected planet Planet be reviewed in 2015. Flare Star, one planet. So Proxima Centauri has one planet. They don't know about Centauri. Well, Centauri A and B are the same, so it's all one system. All right, so Proxima Centauri is 15, a class 15, if we're going based off of what I just said, which I don't know if it's true. So let me see. Oh, so it's smaller though. What? So wait, that's not right. So it's I don't get it. See, I don't know what I'm doing now. Right ascension. Okay, I don't know. I don't want coordinates. I don't care about that. All right, so Barnard Star is 5.9. Let's just say 6 light years. Lumen 16. I guess this is a binary star system. Lumen 16A and 16B are 6.5. Why? What? Is that brown star? That's a brown dwarf. These are brown dwarfs. Okay. So the Lumen and the Ys are brown dwarfs. Wolf is a white dwarf. So ours is a white dwarf? I don't know. Ours isn't a white dwarf. What is it? Ours is a yellow G jammy. Whatever. Cirrus, Lyton, Ross, Epsilon. So these are 10, 11. So faster. So I listen to this stuff on my job weekly. Trust me, sometimes I get lost in these audiobooks I check out from the library. It takes time to get these Yeah, that's true. I'm bad at math, and this fascinates me, but I'm not smart enough to. I think because I'm getting older. I'm 44. I'm not that old, but I'm getting older, and my brain doesn't work as well. So grasping new concepts takes, I think, more time, especially when it is involving math and physics and all, astrophysics. I'm like, that's extra hard math. But I still like the knowledge of, just the wonders of the universe, and just looking at stars. I could go outside right now and look at 1 billion stars. Well, more than that. I probably can't count that many, but they're there. Even though I can't see them all, they're there. And I'm scrolling down this list, and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of stars here. A lot of them in the 1800s. Some little guys. Oh, I like this little diagram here. All right, so Kepler belt. Okay, so this is Sol. Like I said, this is us. So where is? So Wolf, Barnard Star, Luton. So where's Luton? Luton's there. Where's Alpha Centauri? I wish this was 3D. I swear I wish this was 3D second. You say I'm slurring now. I think I'm getting a little tired or something. Oh, here's a better one. What is this? 3D? I don't want red green glasses. Can I turn this off, please? Oh, animated. Hello. Let's see that. Oh, that's kind of dope. Even though I do have red green glasses somewhere, but so can I don't need it to move. I don't need it to move. Can I stop it? Go back. That's kind of cool though. I'm glad they did that. All the way down again. All right, so that's the. Okay, here we go. Sun's closest neighbors. Sun, Oort cloud. I was right. Oort. So the Oort cloud. 2, a dwarf and a free planet were found by the WISE satellite. The year when the distance to each system was determined is listed after the system's name. All right, so let me go bigger on this. All right, so we have, boom, 2 years, 4 years. So Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri, and Alpha Centauri. Wait a second. So is Proxima Centauri Alpha Centauri A? Is that how that is? And Alpha Centauri is Alpha Centauri B? Ella, you're 6 years older than me. Oh, cool. That's nice. So 38. Cool. Good. So yeah, we're not even. I think they just said the Voyager just left our actual solar system, but it didn't leave the Oort cloud yet, or did it leave the Oort cloud? Did it cross the boundary into deep space, or not, or just interplanetary space. I think that's what they're calling it, like the space between systems, basically. So and that's the thing. Like they never teach this in school. Like when I was in school in elementary or whatever, they never taught me how to look at things. Like they say, here's a model of the solar system, and it's a disk, and then the planets, and that's it. That's it. That's all. Pluto. That's the end of the universe for everybody. It's like, okay, and you're a kid, you just, yeah, sure. But then you realize later, oh wait, there's more stuff out there. There's the Kuiper Belt, which is, I would say, a sphere of ice asteroids and other things, comets, all kind of stuff flying around there. Kuiper Belt, right? That's a sphere. So our disk is flying around. Our disk is in there, and then there's a sphere, this Kuiper Belt, and then after that, the Oort cloud, which is just a big old cloud of stuff, and then after that is interstellar space. And so I'm like, okay, so is it 1 light year away from Earth where we can actually exit our Oort cloud, our system, and then be into interplanetary space, and then 4 light years later we get to Proxima Centauri. Proxima Centauri would be our best bet since it's the closest. Yeah, that would be it. But anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm gonna go, because usually the show's from 7 to 9, and I went a little long today. Sometimes I go longer because I'm drawing or whatever, working on this video here. But I worked on it before, and I'm not. You know what? I might work on it. No, I think I'm gonna go play some Xbox. I think I'm gonna go play. I'll stream some Tomb Raider. If you guys want to see me stream, I'll be streaming on Mixer. So Bonds, it's ESGEE on Mixer. I'll put the link in Twitch for you, so you can see me. I usually don't have a microphone when I'm streaming on. When I'm streaming on Mixer, I just play. That's what I did last night or whenever. I was playing Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, because it's on Game Pass. I was like, shoot, let me play this. There was something weird with the streaming though. It had some distortion and stuff, but that's just on the recorded stuff. But whatever. If you want to check it out, you can. Give me a follow if you will. That'd be cool. You don't have to. I'm just saying. I like to collect followers. I'm collecting followers. And I have a thing, right? This is recent. I guess it's always been inside me. That's not weird, but I'm writing songs, and I'm doing this video with the space and all, and I'm kind of on the space thing, right? So the whole discussion tonight about the Earth, our solar system, light years and all the different stars, is connected to my fascination with us eventually leaving the planet, and I kind of like dig. Like back in the day, all the futurists, while they were like, oh, this one dude made like the Star Trek doors in his house, and I'm like, okay, that's novel. It's kind of cool. His house looks all futuristic, like 70s or 60s future. How they had that futurism back in the day. It's kind of like that, but it kind of still looks kind of cool. And all this, I love technology. I love like all the advances and stuff, and I'm not afraid of it like a lot of people are. The real danger and fear is what stupid evil humans will do with this awesome technology. That's it's really us. When I say us, not just us in the general sense, humans as a species. I mean, guys like Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson, dude, it's part of my heroes. I'd say just Neil deGrasse Tyson, because I wasn't really into Carl Sagan back in the day. Passed away before I really awoke, before I woke up. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's my astrophysicist. Bob Ross is my painter guy with the afro. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo. And it's mainly just the ASMR quality of his show. And he's a really good painter. But, there's certain people I look to in, I guess, pop culture and in our society that give me hope, that inspire me to not be like, F everything, humans suck. I mean, yeah, we do. Some of us do. But some of us are so not sucky that it's like, oh my gosh, wow, okay, I hope more are like you in the future, please. Thank you. So it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bob Ross. I had a list of like a couple of people who I'm like, yes. I don't really put like directors and people like that into that category of quote unquote heroes, because directing and movies and filmmaking is art and entertainment for the most part. So they're more artists. I appreciate them, yes, as artists, but I don't look up to them as I do like a Neil deGrasse or Bob Ross. Even though he was literally an artist, what he did on TV and how he was transcended the fact that he was just a dude painting on TV. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, and I was just a little kid and I was watching him on TV and I was like, oh my gosh. I was a teenager at that point. I have some stuff from Carl Sagan. Yeah, Carl Sagan, that's why I appreciated when Neil deGrasse Tyson did the Cosmos again. I was like, okay. I mean, no, I didn't watch the whole thing. Eventually I will. I think the problem with the Cosmos for me is that it's super heavy CG, and it's good CG, but it's a little too much. And I can't just kind of like marathon it or something like that. I have to kind of like dosage. And that's another thing, like back Philip K. Dick. Oh yeah. He's super author. Yeah, he was Arthur, right? Anyway, another thing about me and why I like the space stuff, I think it's connected to the nature stuff. Like when I was a kid, my dad would watch Nature on PBS with George Page. I'm George Page with Nature, and you know he had a nice deep smooth voice, and he would be like, yeah, and it was shot excellently. They shot it on film. It was shot perfect. It was I don't know if it was shot, I think it was 4:3, but I'm sure they can go back and clean those up and make them 6:9 or whatever. But anyway, it was really cool. And I like, you know, as much as I like the space stuff, there's stuff on this planet that's like crazy, mysterious, and beautiful. That's why, like, the advent of 4K and 8K coming soon. And when they show these like 4K, like kind of like drone like fly-throughs of or whatever of like places, like exotic places and stuff that like just nature and like even in a forest or wherever, and it's like crispy, pristine 4K, and it's beautiful, and they got nice music, and I'm like, I could watch that for a very long time because it's beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, and nature is awesome, you know. So and space is nature as well. It's just not terrestrial. It's space nature, if you want to call it that. So I kind of think that they're all connected, and I like all that stuff. So eventually, when I get tired of writing about space and nebulae and all that stuff, I will definitely go into our terrestrial nature type of stuff as far as writing songs, and I'll definitely go into that stuff. Maybe some fantasy stuff. You know, I'm trying to write things that are vague enough so that a lot of people can relate to it, but also kind of paint an image of the setting, what I'm trying to, you know, convey as far as like setting and stuff like that. So right now is the space project. So I'm gonna go into you know, like I just said, the other stuff. I just kind of thought about that because I know I can't do space stuff forever, but I mean I am creating kind of stories within these different places. So right now the things I'm writing are just stories that can be written in nature or maybe in the past or, you know, medieval where there's dragons and mystical stuff. That's how I'll definitely delve into that stuff. Bones says the channel rules would not allow me to type his surname cause yeah, I don't have all that stuff. I'm a little guy. Nobody watches me, so I'm not. I do have some things. Yeah, I mean that's why I do that because I had some evil people come in and stuff. But yeah, sorry about that. Maybe I think I'll change the dick one because dick isn't that bad of a word anymore. But yeah, but I appreciate Bones. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm gonna go play some Tomb Raider, probably. And I hope you have a good night. I hope to see you next week because this is super interesting talking about the space and all that stuff. And I'll try to see some more. I've been watching a lot of Ancient Aliens and stuff like that because Bridget likes that. So, and that's interesting stuff. It's mainly just about theories and, oh, what if this and what if that? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. They're not like trying to shove any type of agenda down your throat. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of just opening up your mind to the possibilities of stuff, which I appreciate it. So, and it's goofy. The guy with the goofy hair is really funny, but I like him. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you hanging out. I'll be here next week also. I mean, during the week, I kind of come in and do some art and stream, so you can probably check me out there as well. But every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, New York time, if you will. allgames.com/live or Twitter, R9cast on Twitter, or mixer.com/SGESGEE, all those places. I'm also on YouTube, but I don't. It's R9cast. The channel's R9cast on YouTube, but I don't really pay attention to that channel that much, which I should, because that's where everybody's a YouTuber, but I don't. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you hanging out. There's other shows on All Games, so if you like me, you probably like the other shows better, because I think they're probably better than me. To be real, I mean, they don't have all the video. It's all audio, so you just have to go to allgames.com/live, and there's a little player on the site. You click that when they're live. It's usually live on 7 o'clock. Most days they're live, but it's like music, like video game music for the most part. It kind of is. It's a radio stream. But Potbelly Gamers on Fridays at 6:30 Eastern. So check them out. They're good. They're Canadian, cool Canadian cats, and yeah, they're really cool. They like the same kind of stuff, like movies and all that stuff. So yeah, you'd like them, and they play video games a lot more than. I think they talk about video games more than I do. Although I do talk about video games, but I just haven't been, because it's right now it's kind of like it's not, the news is kind of bubbling up. E3's coming up, so we'll see. It'll definitely get in. I'll finish the rest of Mortal Engine and then play some Heroes of the Storm. Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely finish Mortal Engines. It's definitely cool. I am an old PC user. The game may change, but the rules are the same. Know the system and know how to get around them. Yeah, true that. But yeah, there's a lot of different other shows. The B Team is on Tuesday? Monday. Gee, I totally forgot. Well, we got the B Team. Mom's Minute may have come back. I'm not too sure. Dead Pixel Live's on Thursdays at 9:30 Eastern. 42 Level 1 is on Friday. Is that on Friday? I think it's on Friday. I don't remember, actually. I think it's on Friday after Potbelly Gamer. I said B Team. The Knuckleballer Radio is on. I think that's on Tuesday. Fantastic Forum is on Wednesday, I believe. They're good. They talk about comic books, deep comic book, deep, and comic book movies subsequently. So they're good and they're funny. They're very, very funny. My consumption of video games has dropped to Pokemon Go and a few PC games. That's all right. Look, video games are video games. I had a point where I was playing Minecraft a little bit, and I fell off of that. I played the hell out of Stardew Valley. I fell off of that. So yeah, I'm more casual than I would, because I played Apex Legends. It's cool. I can play it. I'm not good at it, but I can play it. So I'm not so casual that I can't play these games. Like I played through Titanfall 2, the campaign. It was dope. I was like, I like this game. I played it. It's so good. So I have some skills, but I'm not like a gamer. I'm not like Ninja or nothing. I'm not like Dr. Disrespect where I'm just killing games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that good. I can't go on Fortnite and slay fools. I can't do that. I'm not that good. But I can play it and die in the middle. I can hide in the corner and be number 2. But anyway, longest outro ever. But I definitely appreciate. Let's play the music with the audio for one last time. Go back to Now it's not gonna be in time because, like I said, the rendered version slows it down. But that's that. But I appreciate you hanging out, and I'll see ya probably during the week, but definitely next week. Tilt away. Oh man, that's such a good part. That's the part. Oh wait, I gotta start this over. I forgot to put the lyrics on. I'm like, that's not the song. That's the song. Okay, try that again. But yeah, that's a good part. Sorry, I spoiled it. Did I spoil it? I'm not sure if I spoiled it for you, but whew, that's the part, man. All right, I'm out now. Tilt away.
When I gaze into infinity, space is so silent, it tends to recenter me, sending me to a place, tasting the energy. Can I be reaching the exosphere happily? Yep, I never stepped on a satellite. Can I get a cup of stardust just for the night? Obvious, the flight might be dangerous, hazardous to the human beings, being fools who endanger us. Maybe just trust the captain who will thrust us past the Kuiper belt. Never felt such injustice. Should have been here a million years ago. Maybe so. Certain people want technology that cease to never grow. Never showed how I almost didn't ever flow. Never too late to escape this plane. How insane to never know. It's crazy. To some realities, the myth for me, I sit here, mind clear, traveling adrift.
Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go.
When I think about how our chemistry combines to create another state, it amazes me crazily. Flying through gamma rays, it pleases me. The nebula are certainly beautiful, stop teasing me easily. I could ultimately spend eternity exploring celestial bodies in the farthest galaxy. Exists to contradict all of reality. I'm glad to be the only old man in this colony. Follow me. I'm about to take you on a trip, make it feel so real without even a sip, without even a click. You could figure out the pace without even a pick. You could figure out the place without even a trace. We gon' slide through the rift. Our visuals are tripping way past tilt shift. Extraordinarily, we see planetary drift. Experience the gift as we travel adrift.
Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go. Just let us Oh, just let us go. I wanna fly away with you, my dear. From here, just let me know if you are willing. I got you, so I have no fear. Just let us show how the improbable will turn to the possible. Oh, just let us go. Oh, just let us go.
When I gaze into infinity, space is so